PERK have been a vital part of zombies ever since they first got introduced back in the World at War days. I remember seeing the Varrock trailer for the very first time and seeing Treyarch announce that 4 PERK have been added to the game, and I was just so damn excited to see what the new perks were all about. However, throughout the years, we endlessly bought perks over and over again without actually knowing what they're made out of. However, thanks to Cold War Zombies, we were able to look at the back of the cans, which revealed the ingredients used. So in today's video, we're going to go through a whole bunch of perks and see what the perks are actually made out of. Now, first up in line, we have Quick Revive. This perk is made out of trench water, which would obviously give you diarrhea straight away and lots of other serious health conditions, as I imagine it would not be filtered whatsoever. We also have Chicken Broth Concentrate, which I guess would add some type of flavour. We have Adrenaline, which works by stimulating our nervous system to give us a boost of energy. Ammonium Salts, which is used in a performance enhancement called Smelling Salts. Anchovy Paste, which gives it that authentic fishy smell. And finally, Feline Urea, which is basically cat's urine, and it's where Dempsey's iconic line about Quick Revive comes from.
Tastes like fermented herring dipped in cat piss. Ugh.
Next up in line, we have Speed Cola. Now this perk contains carbonated water, which is what makes the drink fizzy, glucose, which is a simple sugar which turns into a form of energy, cola nut extract, which is actually spelt with a K in real life, and is a fruit of the cola tree, which resides in West Africa. Now from what I've seen online, apparently it's very bitter, and it can also be found in soft drinks such as Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and many more. Speed Cola also contains hydrolyzed crank, which is the slang name for meth. It also contains caffeine, which of course is the stuff inside coffee and lots of energy drinks like Red Bull and Monster. Now this ingredient is a little hard to say, but I think it's pronounced guarana. And basically it's a climbing plant which is used as a tonic or a stimulant, and it resides in South Africa, and it actually contains a whole load of caffeine, so Speed Cola is bound to keep you awake, boy. It also contains taurine, which is a very important amino acid found inside our bodies, which helps with our physical endurance along with health support such as digestion, weight management, and so on. And lastly, it contains cayenne pepper, which of course is one of the spiciest peppers in the world. And just remember this, guys, whatever goes in will eventually come out, so you better pray for protection after drinking some Speed Cola. Next up on the list, we have Stamina. And to start off with, we have lemon juice, lime shavings, high octane gasoline, which is outrageous, but it also makes sense because this is where Dempsey also gets his lime from.
Whoa, that was sour. Wow.
There's also vitamin K, which helps to regulate our blood sugar, protects the immune system and so forth. Then we have capsaicin, which is basically just a spicy chemical. And then lastly, we have jumping bean extract. Now the whole term jumping bean extract is not an actual thing, but jumping beans, however, are formed from a moth laying their eggs inside of a bean pod, and then a larva will populate inside, which is what causes them to jump around as they expand. They're kind of freaky, I won't lie, but there you go. Next up on the list, we have Juggernog. Now the first ingredient is carbonated milk. Now as far as I know from researching, this is a popular drink that you can find in East Asia. I never actually knew about this until today. It also contains powdered crocodile eggs, which explains where all that protein is actually coming from. And this is the funny thing, because you'd think it's similar to a normal egg, but actually when you crack it open, it basically has some type of jelly texture, and it's actually white instead of that classic yellow that we all are used to. And again, this is very popular over in East Asia. Juggernog also contains spinach juice, pure gumption, which basically just means courage, and it's fortified with iron, which makes sense as it keeps us strong and your body needs it for growth, etc. Now we have Deadshot. First ingredient is denatured rum, which is extremely toxic. We've got cane sugar, strawberry oil, ginseng, which is basically a herb, turmeric, which I believe is like, I know what it is, but I don't know how to describe it. I think it's some type of spice, if you will. Then we have ginkgo biloba. I have no idea how to say that. I've probably butchered it, but again, I couldn't really find anything online about this. And lastly, we have dehydrated eye of Newit, which is basically just another term for mustard. So again, probably a little bit spicy. Next up, we have Elemental Pop. Now this is made up of bromide seltzer, and this was created in the mid-1800s and was actually used to cure headaches. However, in 1975, this thing got shut down as reports say it was highly toxic. We also have calcium, chromium, phosphates, magnesium, zinc, and sulfur, and these are all basically chemical elements. And lastly, we have Ethereum, which of course isn't a real thing. It's basically the purple stuff you see laying around in the dark ether. And that's pretty much all I know about it. Next up on the list, we have Tombstone. And the first ingredient for this is Embalming Fluid, which is actually used to prevent decomposition. Then we have Chalk Suspension, which is why Stuhlinger says it tastes like chalk. Duplicator Spirits, which is some sort of alcohol used inside of a printer. Then we have PERK Essence. I have no idea what's going on with that. And lastly, we have Vistoelastic Liquid Silicone, which is essentially the stuff you use when you're making molds, etc. And now we move on to an absolute classic which everyone loves, Mule Kick. This perk contains beer, liquid cordite, which is actually an explosive, cola nut, which is exactly what's used in speed cola, trigger finger extract, again completely made up but it sounds awesome. Then of course we have vitamin B12 gauge, which is a cool little spin Treyarch added, as vitamin B12 is needed to keep the body's nerve and blood cells healthy. But of course they added the gauge part as a reference to a shotgun. And lastly we have a warning sign which says may contain hot lead, which of course is extremely toxic. And the final perk to round off the list is PhD Slider. This actually contains castor oil, which is a type of vegetable oil. It also contains nitroglycerin, which can help treat chest pain. It has powdered graphite, which is an element of carbon. Blasting cap extract, again no idea what it is. And lastly they have distilled banana peel, which helps you slide. Now some of you might be thinking, hold up, what about the boy Double Tap? Well, unfortunately Double Tap is not in Cold War as far as I'm aware, so I was actually unable to gather the ingredients for that perk. However, please feel free to comment down below what you think Double Tap might contain. Now all of these ingredients also come with nutritional facts such as calories, carbs, proteins, etc. And if you want me to do a similar video like today, but instead of the ingredients I actually cover the nutrition side of things, then please let me know in the comments and I'll get straight to it. But other than that guys, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please smash the like button, comment down below, and of course subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you in the next one.